Cheers, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by and watching this video. Now, I just want to share a few things about how I kind of shop and some decision making I make when I'm looking for CDs, especially in those bargain bins or those dollar bins. And sometimes free bins, you never know what might get put in a free bin. And I found some really good stuff. Nothing rare. I don't go really looking for something rare, obscure. But, I do look in the prog section at my record store for used prog CDs because a lot of times I just cannot afford the vinyl versions of it. They're pretty pricey out there, and so a lot of times I look at it like, do I mind having a certain group artists on CD and collecting them that way? I don't. In fact, I had a couple of artists that come to my mind where I don't own any of their vinyl, but I've been collecting them on CD. And the two bands that I'm thinking of are Creedence Clearwater Revival and The Cure. Have owned some Cure albums, but I've traded those in, and because I had the CD version, so I kept the CD versions of them. And so that's one way that I do and look at it like, do I mind having this band on CD? I don't. And I have one of my favorite jazz or electric jazz or however you want to put this album in a certain jazz genre, and that's Bitches Brew. I have that on compact disc, and I love playing that one quite a bit. So, and sometimes, certain albums, like new albums, they're pricey. Even if you go down to the Target and Walmart, they can be close to $40 for a new album. So, that's the kind of the way I look at it. I also, you want to make sure, check the condition of a CD. See if how scratched up or if the CD has any kind of defects that could affect your enjoyment of listening to a CD. So let me go ahead and get into my recent CD haul from last month. And from last month, the month of January. So I picked up I have some, first one I want to show is a metal, Megadeth, their new album, self-titled. I love the album cover. Picked up, this is the Target exclusive edition, which this one has a bonus track called, actually a couple of bonus tracks. We got Ride the Lightning and Bloodlust. Also, CDs can have some really nice artwork on them, on the CD label itself, like this one. So I really like this album a lot. I like their new one. Next, I'm going to go to a classic rock. Sometimes this band, I think about getting their albums again, and then sometimes I'm like, I think I'd be happy with just hot rocks and more hot rocks and some of their 70s and 80s, possible 90s albums. And I'm talking about the band, the Rolling Stones. I found for a couple of bucks, Hot Rocks, double CD. Now, the disc one on this was a little bit scuffed, but I cleaned it up as, best I could. And it played well. Played very well in there. Here we go. And these CDs have this DSD, which, I'm not really familiar with, but they sound fine. I really enjoyed just having that because it just really targets, we all know this, it targets the hits. Plus, it targets a really, what I call a grungy, smoking version of the Midnight Rambler. I love that. Next, I picked up some jazz ones. This is Miles Davis, Nefertiti. Think I'm saying that right? This one does come with at least 4 bonus tracks, which is really nice. Sometimes box sets are really, really nice, but I do ask myself, am I going to listen to that whole box set again? Or is one CD with 4 or 5 bonus tracks good enough for me? And that's usually these Columbia ones of these jazz artists. They have just enough of extra tracks that works well for me. Next, I picked up an Ella Fitzgerald, the Songbooks, Verve, the Silver Collection, it says. And it has a total of 19 songs on it. This is made in the USA. And what I've noticed, this one doesn't say that, but the ones that say something about, is it ADD or, yeah, ADD, those are what I understand like the first generation CDs, and I prefer those. They sound really good. Glenn Calloway's CD tag, which I'm probably going to do sometime coming this week, he had a really good CD tag that I'm thinking about participating. You know, he had a question about the best sounding CD in my collection, and I would have to go with for that, my first generation, I believe that it is, of Pink Floyd Obscured by Cloud CD. That one sounds really, really good. This one is going to, that I'm going to show is another great jazz legend. This is Dexter Gordon. This is the other side of Round Midnight. It has Ron Carter, Herbie Hancock, Billy Higgins, Freddie Hubbard. I mean, the list goes on this. Tony Williams. This is a CD. Couple of bucks. I found this at Saviors. You could see right there. And yeah, really, really good. And it looks like an early Blue Note CD, maybe. I don't know how early, but I was glad to find it like this version of it, because it's really going to probably sound really good. You know, I don't play CDs on nothing really that fancy. Maybe somebody out there can make a suggestion of a CD player that's in an affordable range that I could hook up to my integrated amp so I can listen CDs through that system and my speakers here. Okay, next I found this, and I don't really have that much in my collection of Lou Reed. Planning to change that. But this is his album on Sire, Warner Brothers, Lou Reed, Magic, and Loss. I love this album cover. And not really familiar with this album, so it was a blind buy, you could say. But, you know, for $1.99 plus tax, I went ahead and picked it up. I know a lot of people out there and music vinyl community are fans of Lou Reed. I am too. I even like that album. I don't remember the title of it, but it sounds like, I guess you could say, noise or rock noise. It's a double album. I like that. Hopefully that one I would like to get that on vinyl. Okay, a couple of more things to show here. This is an album, I don't even know how to say this, but when I looked at the back of it and I saw the players on it, I said, "Oh yeah, this is going to be rock solid." This is Paco de Luca. Probably said that wrong on Philips. Never seen this before. And check out that lineup. Larry Correll, John McLaughlin. So it's acoustic guitar playing, and John McLaughlin playing the 12-string. Says it came out in 1981. Not familiar with this. It's on the Philips label. Here's the inside. Really nice. Love the shade of blue. Love this. This is really nice. I'm looking forward to this. I'm sure this is going to be a good listen. Three amazing acoustic guitar players. The last thing I found was a box set. So this, for right now, will probably be all I need of Willie Nelson. But this is called Revolutions of Time, The Journey, 75 through 1993. It's in really good shape. The booklet's intact still. I paid $3.99 for it plus tax, which I thought was a really good deal here. So yeah, you get some early Willie Nelson, mid Willie Nelson, and the Exodus. Well, I guess I say the later Willie Nelson. The CDs are in here. I like this box set, the way this is set up. The booklet's intact. It's got a really nice booklet in here. And so, I'll show maybe another photo in here I liked. Yeah, this one right here. So, there are the other CDs in it. So, yeah. I was really happy and thrilled to find that. I wasn't expecting that. Usually, sometimes when you go look at a thrift store or even half price, you gotta, if you're looking just to check out their box sets, you gotta look in these, what I call them, like out of your sight. You gotta look up, higher up. Sometimes the top row may have the box sets in there. Half price books has these weird spots where they're like out of sight, out of mind. But if you look around where the CDs are in these little cubes or cubbies, you see their box sets and you're like, oh, wow. That's how I found this Cure one I showed in a video recently. It was there and I was like, oh man, I was so happy to find that. Really good box set. It's the one called The Cure, Join the Dots. Really, really great stuff on there. All right, folks. Keep looking in those CD bargain bins. Some of us, or I'm not going to speak for everyone, but for myself, sometimes there's some good deals in there. Sometimes you might come across a rare one for a nice price. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if you still like buying CDs once in a while. Take care, and I'll see you on my next video.